It is formed by fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. So you will not learn each sacral vertebra separately, but you will learn the whole sacrum, fused sacrum, right? Which is formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. It is triangular in shape and it forms the posterior wall of the bony pelvis. There is a separate demonstration for bony pelvis. So sacrum forms the posterior wall. Now its important articulations. One you have already learned. On the either side, sacrum articulates with the iliac part of the hip bone and it forms the sacroiliac joint. See here, this is the sacroiliac joint. And if you remember, it is of plain synovial joint. So on either side, it forms the sacroiliac joint, which is of the plain synovial joint. Now, first sacral vertebra articulates with the fifth lumbar vertebra, and it forms the lumbosacral joint. And below, the sacrum articulates with the coccyx. These two joints are of just like the other intervertebral joints. These are of the secondary cartilaginous joint. So articulation, lumbosacral joint, above it articulates with the fifth sacral vertebra, fifth lumbar vertebra, which is of secondary cartilaginous joint. Below it articulates with the coccyx. Again, it is of secondary cartilaginous joint. And on either side, it articulates with the iliac part of the hip bone, sacroiliac joint. And that is of the plain synovial joint. So these are the articulations of the sacrum. Now general features. It has one base lies above, apex lies below, and there are 4 surfaces. Ventral surface is also called the pelvic surface, dorsal or the posterior surface, and 2 lateral surfaces. I will go it one by one. So first of all, this is the ventral surface. Now, the base is formed by the first sacral vertebra, upper surface of the first sacral vertebra. This whole one is the base of the sacrum. This is the apex, which lies below, and it articulates with the coccyx. Now, ventral surface, as compared to the dorsal surface, it is slightly concave anteriorly, and it is smooth. So this is the ventral surface. This is the dorsal surface. If you see, it is uneven or irregular and convex. So this is the dorsal surface. Now what is the anatomical position? For the anatomical position, if you see posteriorly on the dorsal surface, there is one canal. अगर आपके पास sacrum है, तो you can make out these features on the bone also. So posteriorly there is one canal that is called the sacral canal. So in its anatomical position, this canal directed upward and backward. So direction of the sacral canal is upward and backward. This is the lateral view. Now which surface it is? This one is the ventral surface. So what is the direction of this ventral or the pelvic surface? It is directed forward and downward. And the base of the sacrum is tilted, or it making an angle with the horizontal end. So these are the points of the anatomical position. Pelvic surface is directed downward and forward. Base of sacrum slopes forward at an angle of 30 to 60 degrees with the horizontal plane. And third important point is the direction of sacral canal. It is directed upward and backward. So if you are having a bone, you keep this point for its anatomical position. You keep the sacral canal upward and backward. Keep the pelvic surface downward and forward so that the base forms the angle of 30 to 60 degree with the horizontal plane. So these are the points of anatomical position. So whenever you pick up the sacral bone in Viva, you have to keep these 3 points for its anatomical position. Now let us see first general features, and then we will see the important attachments on the sacrum. So this is the base. Base lies above. It formed by the upper surface of the first sacral vertebra. This whole one is called the base of the sacrum. Central part, its anterior margin, so it is shown as a white color. Anterior margin of the central part of base is called the sacral promontory. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Sacral promontory. On either side of the sacral promontory, this lateral part, this is called the ala of sacrum. So again, base is divided into 2 parts. Central portion is called sacral promontory and lateral portion is called the ala of sacrum. Now if you move your finger around the ala of sacrum, it is divided into 2 parts, medial smooth part and lateral rough part. Both these portion of the ala of sacrum gives the attachment of the different structure. That's why it is important to differentiate medial smooth part and lateral rough part. Apex lies below and it articulates with the coccygeal vertebrae. Now if you see on the posterior aspects of the sacral promontory, there are 2 superior articular processes. These superior articular processes articulate with the inferior articular process of 5th lumbar vertebrae, and it forms the zygopophyseal joint, which you have already seen last time in the lumbar vertebra. What is the type of this joint? Zygopophyseal joint. You can write in chat box what is the type of this joint. The joint between the articular processes of vertebrae. Which type of joint it is? Yes, it is of the plain synovial joint. So just like that, this superior articular process of the base of the sacrum articulates with the inferior articular process of 5th lumbar vertebrae, and that is of the plain synovial joint. Now let us see the features of the ventral surface or the pelvic surface. If you see, this surface is divided into 2 masses by the row of the foramens. These are known as pelvic sacral foramens. So the central part is called the central mass and portion lies lateral to the pelvic sacral foramen. This is called lateral mass. So ventral surface is divided into 2 parts by pelvic sacral foramen, central part and the lateral mass. If you see the central part is divided into 5 segments by 4 transverse ridge. This transverse ridge indicates nothing but the fusion of the body of the sacral vertebrae. So again, the central is divided into 5 segments by 4 transverse ridge. This transverse ridge indicates the fusion of the body of 5 sacral vertebrae. This foramen are known as pelvic sacral foramen on either side of the central mass. There are two columns of the pelvic sacral foramen. This pelvic sacral foramen communicates with the vertebral canal or the sacral canal through the intervertebral foramen posteriorly. We have seen the sacral canal posteriorly. So this foramen communicates with the sacral canal through the intervertebral foramen. Now portion of the bone between the two pelvic sacral foramen. This portion is formed from the costal elements. Again, you will learn in detail in embryology. So these are nothing but the remnants of the costal elements, or it is formed by the costal elements. Portion which lies lateral to the pelvic sacral foramen, or this lateral mass, is formed by the fusion of the transverse processes of the each sacral vertebrae. So portion between the pelvic sacral foramen is formed by the costal elements, and the portion of the lateral mass lateral to this pelvic sacral foramen is formed by the transverse fusion of the transverse processes of the 5 sacral vertebrae. So these are the features of the ventral surface. We have seen the sacral promontory, central part of the base, ala of sacrum, lateral part of the base. Central mass is divided into the 5 segments by 4 transverse ridge. Here you can see the transverse ridge. There are 2 columns of the pelvic sacral foramina on either side of the central mass. This foramina communicates with the sacral canal through the intervertebral foramen. This is the body of ventral surface of the first sacral vertebrae. And this is the lateral mass. Is formed by fusion of the transverse processes. Now the features of the dorsal surface. Dorsal surface is irregular and convex. In the midline, if you see, there is one crest which divides the dorsal surface into 2 halves. This is called median sacral crest. Median sacral crest. Over this median sacral crest, if you see, there are the 4 tubercles, small tubercle, small elevation. These are nothing but the spinous tubercles. So that means the median sacral crest is formed by fusion of the spinous process of the upper 4 sacral vertebrae. So what it represents, median sacral crest? ये आपको वाइवा में पूछते हैं सारे पार्ट्स किससे बनते हैं. So median sacral crest is nothing but is formed by fusion of spinous process of the upper 4 sacral vertebrae. If you see at the lower end of the 4th spinous process, there is an inverted U-shaped gap. इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? Sacral hiatus. So what it represents, sacral hiatus? If you see the spinous process of the 5th sacral vertebrae, they do not fuse with each other and it leaves a gap at the lower end of it, and that inverted U-shaped gap is called the sacral hiatus. The sacral hiatus is formed due to the non-fusion of the lamina of the 5th sacral vertebrae. Now on either side of the sacral hiatus, just below at the level of this superior articular process. See, this is the superior articular process of first sacral vertebra. In the line of the superior articular process, on either side of the sacral hiatus, there are 2 tubercles, and these are known as sacral cornu. Sacral cornu. So what it represents? Sacral cornea represents the inferior articular process of the fifth sacral vertebrae, which do not fuse with the coccyx. See here, it remain unfused or non-fused. So on either side of sacral hiatus, there are two sacral cornea, and sacral cornea are nothing but the inferior articular process of the fifth sacral vertebrae. So we have one midline median sacral crest, which is nothing but the formed by the fusion of the spinous process of the upper four sacral vertebrae. Over this median crest, there are four spinous tubercle. Below the fourth spinous tubercle, there is inverted U-shaped gap, and that is called the sacral hiatus. What it represents? Sacral hiatus formed by the non-fusion of the lamina of the fifth sacral vertebrae. On either side of the sacral hiatus, there are two sacral cornua. And if you trace it upward, it lies in the line of the superior articular process of the first sacral vertebrae. So the sacral cornua represents the inferior articular process. Again, here you can see median sacral crest, sacral hiatus, and two sacral cornua. Lateral to the median crest, if you see, there is another crest, and that is the intermediate sacral crest. Lateral to the intermediate sacral crest, there are the two columns of the dorsal sacral foramina. And lateral to the dorsal sacral foramina crest, over the lateral sacral crest, another there are the four tubercles, and these are the transverse tubercle, because the lateral sacral crest is formed by fusion of transverse processes of the upper four sacral vertebrae, and over it there lies four transverse tubercle. So these are the dorsal or the posterior sacral foramen. So let me revise the features of the dorsal surface. What it made up of? Median sacral crest is the made up of the fusion of the spinous processes or spine of the upper four sacral vertebrae. Intermediate sacral crest is formed by fusion of the articular processes of the sacrum, fusion of the superior and inferior articular processes. Lateral sacral crest formed by fusion of the transverse processes. Sacral hiatus, which is inverted U-shaped gap at the lower end of median crest. It is due to the non-fusion of the lamina of the fifth sacral vertebrae. Sacral cornua are nothing but the free inferior articular processes of fifth sacral vertebrae. So this you have to remember. वो आपको वाइवा में पूछते हैं, मीडियन सेक्रल क्रेस्ट किससे बनता है, इंटरमीडिएट सेक्रल क्रेस्ट किससे बनती है, वाई देयर इज सेक्रल हाइटस, व्हाट आर दिस सेक्रल कॉर्न्यू, तो ये आपको याद रखना है. Now structure passing through the various foramina of the sacrum. Structure passing through the sacral canal. Just like a vertebral canal, it gives the passage of spinal cord, its meninges, phylum terminale, and the sacral and coccygeal spinal nerves. For pelvic sacral foramina passes the ventral rami of upper four sacral spinal nerves, as well as lateral sacral arteries. These are the branches of abdominal aorta. Dorsal sacral foramina transmits the dorsal rami of upper four sacral spinal nerves. This is important. Sacral hiatus transmits the सी ये आपको याद रखना है, particularly structure passing through the sacral hiatus. Fifth sacral nerve, it will only transmit the fifth sacral nerve, pair of coccygeal nerves and phylum terminale. Sacral nerve, pair of coccygeal nerves and phylum terminale. Now, what is phylum terminale? If you remember the lower end of the spinal cord in adult, it ends at the lower border of the L1 vertebrae. And this lower end is called the conus medullaris. Right? Now, there are three meninges surrounding the spinal cord. Which are these three meninges? Can you name the three meninges covering the brain as well as spinal cord? Yes, one of them is pia mater, dura mater, and arachnoid mater. Right. So, outermost covering is called the dura mater, middle one is arachnoid mater, and the innermost is the pia mater. So, if you see here, at the lower border of the spinal cord, one thread-like structure, and that is called the phylum terminale. It is nothing but the extension of the pia mater of the spinal cord. So this is called the phylum terminale. So here you can see this is the S1 vertebrae, S2, S3, S4 and S5. So what comes out through the sacral hiatus? That is only the phylum terminale, not the whole spinal cord. Other structure passing through the sacral hiatus is the fifth sacral nerve and the phylum terminale and the pair of the coccygeal nerve. So these are the structure passing through the sacral hiatus. So what is phylum terminale? It is nothing but the extension of the pia mater of the spinal cord. One of the process of the pia mater of the spinal cord. Terminal. Structure passing through the sacral foramina. This is the dorsal view. So from the dorsal sacral foramina, it transmits the dorsal rami of the five sacral nerves. Here you can see the sacral nerves comes out through the sacral foramina. And structure passing through the sacral canal. See here, it transmits the phylum terminale, then the sacral and the coccygeal nerves, and the meninges of the spinal cord. Lateral surface, features of the lateral surface. We have seen the ventral surface, dorsal surface, its important parts, formation of each parts, and structure passing through the important foramen. Now, features of the lateral surface. Lateral surface is formed by fusion of transverse processes as well as fusion of the costal elements. It is divisible into two parts, upper and the lower. If you remember in the sacroiliac features of the sacroiliac surface of the ilium, here also there is a inverted L-shaped auricular surface is there. So this auricular surface of sacrum articulates with the ilium of the hip bone and forms the sacroiliac joint. Auricular surface of the lateral surface articulates with the ilium. Behind, posterior to the auricular surface, there is a rough surface and that is called the sacral tuberosity. Auricular surface represents the coastal elements, or it formed by the fusion of coastal elements, while the sacral tuberosity is formed by the fusion of the transverse processes. Now, if you see the two portion of the lateral surface, upper broad part and lower narrow part, angle between these two portion, see the direction of upper broad part, and this is the direction of the lower narrow part. It forms an angle, and that angle is called the inferior lateral angle of the sacrum. So what is inferior lateral angle? It is an angle between the auricular surface of the upper broad part and the lower narrow portion of the lateral surface. So angle between these two portions is called the inferior lateral angle. So you have seen the two angles formed by the sacrum. One is formed by the base of the sacrum. Base is not straight horizontal, but it's slightly tilted forward, making an angle with the horizontal plane 30 to 60 degree. An angle in the lateral surface between the upper broad part and the lower narrow part. This angle is called the inferior lateral angle. Now the important attachments. First of all, attachments of ligaments. There are list of ligaments attached to the sacrum. These are the anterior longitudinal ligament, posterior longitudinal ligament, and ligamentum flavum. You have already seen these three ligaments in lumbar vertebrae. So where lies anterior longitudinal ligament? What is the attachment of anterior longitudinal ligament? Anterior and posterior. किसी को पता नहीं है? What is the attachments of anterior and posterior longitudinal ligament in lumbar vertebrae? Not in sacrum. Upper and lower border of body. So both anterior and the posterior longitudinal ligament attach to the anterior surface of the vertebral column and the posterior surface of the vertebral column, respectively. It's a long band. Anterior ligament attached to the anterior surface of the body of the all vertebrae. Right? Posterior longitudinal ligament attached to the posterior surface of the body of the all vertebra, forming the vertebral column. What is the attachment of ligamentum flavum? Ligamentum flavum का क्या attachments है? Yes, it attached to the inner aspects of the lamina of the two vertebrae. These are known as ligamentum flavum. I will show you the figure again in the sacrum. So this ligament remains same. Other ligament particularly related with the sacrum, these are the lumbosacral ligament, sacroiliac ligament. Again, there are of three types: ventral, dorsal, and interosseous sacroiliac ligament. Two important ligaments related with the lower limb. These are the sacrotuberous ligament and sacrospinous ligament, which converts the greater and lesser sciatic notch into the foramen. So these are the list of the ligaments attached to the sacrum. Muscles attachments. These are very, very important. Attachments of muscle that you have to remember. Iliacus, piriformis, erector spinae, does again you will learn in the back of the abdomen. Gluteus maximus, you have already seen the gluteus maximus, and coccygeus. So let me show you the attachments of the ligaments as well as the muscles on the bone. See the E-shaped origin from the middle three pieces of the ventral surface of the sacrum. It's the origin of piriformis. See the attachments of piriformis on the ventral surface. The origin is in the form of E shape from the middle three pieces over the lateral mass of the ventral surface of sacrum. So that is the origin of the piriformis. Now, as I told you, the ala of sacrum is divided into two portions, medial smooth part and lateral rough part. So this lateral rough part gives the origin of iliacus. Lateral rough part. Now, did you remember the insertion of these two muscles? What is the insertion of iliacus? What is the insertion of iliacus? कहाँ पे insert होगा iliacus? Yes. So the insertion lies in the lower limb. It is inserted on the lesser trochanter along with the psoas major tendon. What is the insertion of piriformis? Piriformis का क्या insertion है? Anybody? Which part of greater trochanter? Over the apex of the greater trochanter. Right. Not on the surface, but at the apex of the greater trochanter. That is the insertion of piriformis. So these two are the origin. Now the portion of the ala of sacrum just behind the origin of iliacus, this portion gives the attachment of lumbosacral ligament. See over here. And I will show you one figure that medial smooth part is related with the certain structures. So these are the attachments on the ventral aspects. Now let us see the attachments on the dorsal surface. See the median sacral crest, lateral sacral crest. If you trace it below, line joining these two will form the U shape. So this U shape of the dorsal surface is the origin of the erector spinae. Now within the gap of the U shape, as I have shown you, it is of the blue color. That is the origin of multifidus. So the U-shaped line joining the median and lateral sacral crest, that is the origin of erector spinae. The gap between the U-shape origin of erector spinae, that gives the origin of multifidus. आपको ये वाइवा में पूछते attachments of muscles are very important for sacrum. Now the lower portion, if you remember, I told you the lateral surface, lower part is the narrowed part. So that gives the origin of gluteus maximus. In the gluteus maximus, this portion is also gives the attachments of two ligament, sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligament. It also gives the origin to the coccygeus. So these you have to remember in sequence. The lower narrowed part of the lateral surface gives the attachments before backward, gluteus maximus, attachments of sacrotuberous ligament, attachments of sacrospinous ligament, and more posteriorly coccygeus. So these are the attachments of the lower narrow portion of the lateral surface. Before backward, gluteus maximus, sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligament, and the coccygeus muscle. Now here you can see the extent of the multifidus. See the origin lies below from the sacrum. from the dorsal surface of the sacrum and it runs upward till the thoracic spine. Again, you will learn in the back. Now, attachments of ligament. As I told you, there are two longitudinal bands. One of them is the anterior longitudinal ligament. See the attachments of anterior longitudinal ligament. This ligament attach over the anterior surface of the whole vertebral column. Just like that, posteriorly we have posterior longitudinal ligament extending over the posterior surface of the vertebral column. Ligamentum flavum attached to the in between the lamina of the two successive vertebrae. That is the ligamentum flavum. Now there are three sacroiliac ligament: ventral, interosseous. One of them is seen here, that is ventral sacroiliac ligament or anterior sacroiliac ligament, attached to the lateral mass or lateral surface of the sacrum to the ilium. Here also you can see. So this is the band of the ventral sacroiliac ligament. Here you can see the two sacrotuberous and sacrospinous, extending from the lower narrowed part of the lateral surface of the sacrum. Sacrotuberous ligament extend from the sacrum to the ischial tuberosity of the hip bone. Sacrospinous ligament extending from the sacrum to the ischial spine of the hip bone. Again, you can see here lumbosacral ligament. Extend from the transverse process of the lumbar vertebra, fifth lumbar vertebra, to the ala of sacrum, behind the origin of iliacus. So this is the attachments of lumbosacral ligament. Now here you can see the dorsal sacroiliac ligament. See the two band of the dorsal sacroiliac ligament. This extends from the intermediate sacral crest to the ilium. That is the dorsal sacroiliac ligament. Again, here you can see the sacrotuberous ligament from the ischial tuberosity to the lateral surface of the sacrum. The ligament that is left, that is the intermediate interosseous sacroiliac ligament, and that extends from the lower narrowed part of the lateral surface of the sacrum to the ilium. So these are the ligaments attached to the sacrum. Anterior and posterior longitudinal ligament, ligamentum flavum, three sacroiliac ligament, anterior or ventral, dorsal and interosseous sacroiliac ligament, lumbosacral ligament between the transverse process of lumbar vertebra to the ala of sacrum, and two sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligament. Now the important structures related to the ala of sacrum. This can be asked in your objective type of questions, in your viva also. So remember the structures related to the ala of sacrum. You have to remember in sequence either from lateral to medial or from medial to lateral. Now which are these structures? Obturator nerve, iliolumbar artery, lumbosacral trunk and sympathetic chain. If you want to remember one mnemonics, it is OILS, from lateral to medial. O for obturator nerve, I for iliolumbar artery, L for lumbosacral trunk and S for sympathetic chain. OILS. But remember in sequence from lateral to medial. So lateral most structure, if you see here, it's a obturator nerve. Then iliolumbar artery. Medial to it, lumbosacral trunk. Medial to it, sympathetic chain, in which you will see the ganglion. So these are the four structures related to the ala of sacrum, from lateral to medial: obturator nerve, iliolumbar artery, lumbosacral trunk, and sympathetic chain. Now, important structures related to the pelvic surface of the sacrum or the ventral surface of the sacrum. In the midline, it is related with the median sacral vessels. These are the branch of abdominal aorta. Sympathetic chain, peritoneum, rectum, and bifurcation of superior rectal artery. So 5 structure related to the pelvic surface: median sacral vessels, sympathetic chain, peritoneum, rectum, and bifurcation of the superior rectal artery. Here you can see in the midline of the ventral surface. See, this is the ventral surface of the sacrum, right? So this median artery is the median sacral artery in the midline. Here you can see the sympathetic chain. See this ganglionic sympathetic chain on either side of the median sacral artery. This is the median sacral artery. On either side of it, it is related with the sympathetic chain. Then the upper 2.5 pieces of the sacrum is directly related with the peritoneum, while the lower 2.5 pieces is related with the rectum. And in between the rectum and the sacrum, you will find the bifurcation of superior rectal artery. So here you can see, this is the rectum. So upper 2 pieces is directly related with the peritoneum, while the lower 2 pieces is related with the rectum. Now this one is the superior rectal artery. If you see on the posterior aspects of the rectum, this artery will divide into two parts, two terminal branch. And it comes from what? Which is this artery? Can you name this artery? ये कौन सी artery है? Coming from the abdominal aorta. का blood vessels of GIT हो गया या बाकी है वो? I think it is of next lecture. है ना, वो बाकी है आपका. Okay, so the artery which coming from this abdominal aorta, that is inferior mesenteric artery, that you will learn in the next lecture. This is the inferior mesenteric artery, and it gives one terminal branch, that is superior rectal artery. So superior rectal artery is nothing but the terminal branch of the inferior mesenteric artery, ultimately coming from the abdominal aorta. And this superior rectal artery, again, it divides into two branches on the posterior aspects of the rectum. So the bifurcation of superior rectal artery lies between the rectum and the lower 2 pieces of the sacrum. So the structures which are related to the pelvic surface of the sacrum, again I repeat, these are the median sacral vessels in the midline. On either side of the median sacral vessels, there lies the sympathetic chain. Then the upper 2.5 pieces of the sacrum related with the peritoneum, lower 2.5 pieces related with the rectum, and in between the rectum and the sacrum there lies bifurcation of the superior rectal artery, which is a branch of the inferior mesenteric artery. Now the differences between the male and female sacrum. See, ये आपको पूछते एग्जाम में. What are the, whether it is of the male sacrum or the female sacrum. आपको जो भी sacrum दिया गया है वो किसका है, मेल का है या फीमेल का है? तो वो आपको याद रखना है डिफरेंस. If you see the lengthwise, male sacrum is longer as compared to the female sacrum, right? Now see the difference between the sacral promontory and the ala of sacrum. See here the length of sacral promontory as compared to the ala of sacrum in male and in female. See in female, if you see the promontory is longer than the ala of sacrum, while in male the length between the sacral promontory and ala of sacrum is just equal. If you see the curvature, the a ventral surface. But if you see in the female, the lower part of the ventral surface of the sacrum is more concave. Here you can see the concavity is more in the lower part of the female sacrum. So these are the main difference. So main identifying features between the male and female sacrum is the length of the sacral promontory as compared to the ala of sacrum. Here the sacral promontory is more longer than the ala of sacrum, and second more differentiating feature is the concavity. In female, it is more concave in the lower part of the sacrum. So if you remember these 2 points, you can easily differentiate between the male and female sacrum in exam. So what are the difference? Lengthwise, male sacrum is more longer and narrower as compared to the female sacrum. Female sacrum is shorter and wider. Curvature, in the male sacrum, it is uniformly concave, while in the female, the lower part is more concave as compared to the upper part. In male as compared to the female sacrum. Body or the sacral promontory. Length of the sacral promontory is more in female as compared to the male. Here it is given wrongly, like the body is wider in male. No, the sacral promontory length, it is more as compared to the ala of the sacrum in female. Remember the female sacrum. I will show you the figure again. See here, the sacral promontory is more wider as compared to the ala of sacrum in female. So these are the difference between male and female sacrum. So that's all about the sacral vertebrae. Its general features, its attachments, structure passing through the foramen, and difference between male and female sacrum. So any question? If you can't understand anything, you can ask me. You enter your roll number for your attendance.